Hello and welcome to a podcast about the console wars. I have here a special guest called Dan,
Hi.
and he will be answering some of my questions. So first, let's go over the topic about console wars through history. So Dan, how do you feel about the impact of the console wars in the world?
The only thing I can remember about it from like back in the day, because I'm in my 40s now, wasn't it Sega and Nintendo or something? Didn't they have like a big one in the late 80s or early 90s? I think that's sort of when it all started, and that sort of was a big impact on things. I think people were either like Sega or Nintendo, weren't they?
Yes, they were, because Sega and Nintendo were the two big companies, and then I believe Nintendo bought out Sega, and then it started to be Xbox and PlayStation started to enter the party as well.
Yeah. Do people tend to stick with like one console and then, or do people tend to sort of switch between them?
It depends on what people like, because currently, PlayStation is the winner of exclusive games. Xbox is the winner of backwards compatibility and hardware, and Nintendo's also good for both those reasons, except for the hardware stuff.
Cool.
Next question. How do you think about the world if there wasn't gaming?
Well, like I say, I've never been a massive gamer, and I can see why people like it and that, but I don't know, I just feel sometimes if there wasn't games, maybe people might get out more and enjoy the sunshine and do fun stuff in the summer. 'Cause I think it's a bit sad sometimes when people just, like, we got all this nice weather in the summer and people just sit at home and don't go out and enjoy the sunshine, and maybe it's having a bit of an impact on people's social skills and things like that, so it might maybe improve that. I know I'm talking from quite a negative point of view, but I just feel that might develop people's social skills more. But then I can see obviously why people are into it. There's, like, the graphics are good and things like that. So yeah.
Absolutely. Next question. What do you think about the console wars?
I guess from the company's point of view, it's good for them, because then if they can sort of, they try to always fight to be the top brand, I guess, or the number one brand or console, and then but I guess from players or gamers' point of view, then it's difficult for them, because I guess they've got to make a choice and then either switch consoles, which I know is going to be obviously quite expensive, or they've got to initially make that choice which one they're going to go with, and then I don't know if they bring out games on other consoles and things like that, which is a bit bad for gamers because it's quite an expensive hobby, isn't it?
Absolutely. What side were you on for the console wars?
I've never been a massive gamer, but I know my brother was like into gaming, and he was always like PlayStation through and through, and he played a lot of Football Manager games back in the 90s, so he was always PlayStation rather than like Nintendo and stuff, yeah.
Okay, has his side then changed during the console wars?
No, because now he's got children, he's still into PlayStation, and we're up to, what is it, PlayStation 5, I think, is it?
Yes.
And like his sons have now got into PlayStation, so I don't know whether they've done that through him and his influence that choice at all, but yeah, so he's still into PlayStation even 30 years on now, yeah.
Amazing. When were you a fan of the console wars?
Like I say, I haven't really been a massive gamer, so like I say, I know my brother just sort of, he obviously decided to go with PlayStation. Maybe the football management games were better with that, or maybe he just picked that from the outset and he stuck with that through and through, yeah.
Okay. When were you not a fan of console wars?
Again, it hasn't really affected me that much, really. So, but I'd like to say, I'll have to speak to my brother and ask him, but whether he had issues where he couldn't get games, but I'm pretty sure he was always quite happy with the games he played on PlayStation, yeah.
Amazing.